The Whitehouse Wildcats Girls Soccer Show is brought to you by the Lone Star Podcast Network. You can find the show on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, on any place podcasts are found. But if you want to hear more high school sports-related shows, head over to LoneStarPodcast.com. And if you would love to get a show for your high school sports team, when you're on LoneStarPodcast.com, look for the link that says Coach's Show. All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Coach Aaron Hale from the Whitehouse Wildcats Girls Soccer team. Coach, how are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I guess first, fill me in, since we're starting this series late in the season, fill me in on your career and how you got to Whitehouse.
I started out in Jacksonville when I was 21 years old, so that would have been, a long time ago, probably 2006. Okay. I was the assistant girls coach there under Howard Story, and then I was the assistant cross-country coach as well. I spent 2 years there. I got married and ended up adopting 2 boys, and my husband works in the oil field, so I got out of coaching for a little bit and just was a classroom teacher so I could kind of be stability for these 2 little guys that I adopted. And then I had 2 biological kids, and in 2016, Randy Copeland called me and said he had a way, if I wanted to get back in coaching, he had the best opportunity. And it really was. It was at Whitehouse, and I started at the middle school. I was the assistant for the girls' soccer program there for, I think, 7 years under Wendy Knight, and she moved to the Metroplex 2 years ago, so I took over then, and that's how I'm here.
Nice. And so when Coach Copeland called you, were you looking at the time? Were you trying to figure out a way in, or did this come out of the blue?
This came out of the blue. Coach Copeland was actually my football coach in high school and helped me get my foot in the door at Jacksonville. He was the AD there when I went there. I was not looking, and it was honestly the perfect fit for me. So as always, he has always kind of, encouraged me to get back in if I wanted to. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
Nice.
Whitehouse is a great place.
Yeah, it is. And talk about for people who don't know your story, when you mentioned he was my football coach, that probably kind of surprised somebody. So if you could talk about the fact that you did play Texas high school football.
I did. I was the field goal and extra point kicker for the ARP Tigers for 4 years, under Paul Fry and then under Randy Copeland.
Love it. Very cool. And so, I'm sure Whitehouse, all the talk there is about, at least this weekend,
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So does he come visit the school? Do you ever see him?
I have never seen him. He does come and visit. He donates some things to our program. I think he donated a bunch of shoes to some kids in need. I've never met him. Everyone that knows him or coached him says a lot of great things about him. I have met his wife because she was big in the soccer world. So, yes.
I didn't know that. I knew him from the football days of covering him, but I did not realize his wife was in soccer. That's very cool.
Yes.
So, Leah, let's talk about Whitehouse girls soccer right now.
Okay.
Because I'm looking 6-1-2. That's a pretty darn good record.
No, it's not. Yes, sir. It's not bad. These these girls are honestly, when I took over last year, we had a really strong freshman class coming in, and but not only talented, but just hardworking, leave it all on the field, just outwork everyone. And last year we played a lot of panic soccer where we would kind of kick and chase and just try to outrun people. This year we've matured and we're playing a lot of possession, pretty soccer, and they're really doing well.
Excellent. And a lot of people who aren't familiar with the game, because as you know, Texas football is the funny-shaped ball. It's not,
yes,
not
it
what
is.
it is in the rest of the world.
Yes.
And although all the kids play it at the very small level, that's magnet ball. That's just a bunch of kids following the ball around.
Right.
But talk about how it is a lot more plays and a lot more strategy.
Well, it kind of depends on what you're comfortable formation-wise running. I have always been taught, and what works best for me is I find my strengths and my weaknesses, and I pick my formation around that. So we, for example, run a 4-4-2. That's 4 defenders in the back, 4 midfielders in the middle of the field, and then 2 forwards up top. And that's really, honestly, your most basic formation. But let's say you have like a really strong just defensive player who can kind of play in the middle of the field, then you could really utilize her as that single. You could put like a 4-1, or however you wanted to fix it to where it plays off your strengths. So I have a couple of fast girls that generally play off the back line, but I will push them up in the formation so the person in front of them will kind of go to the center, and those fast girls will run the line and act like they are they almost become forwards. So you're coming all the way from the back to the front. So it kind of converts into like you can drop your defensive center mid back in the line, and it almost becomes attacking in a 4-3-3 at that point. Sweet. It just depends on kind of what you have. Tomorrow night, we're playing against Hallsville. They also have a good record going in. It's a pretty tough rivalry between both of us. We were fortunate enough to take them twice last year. I know they're looking for revenge this year. He's got a really tall, pretty speedy girl. So he also has a girl with a really long throw-in. So we have to be smart about this, and we don't want to give them a throw-in near the box because it's essentially like a set piece at that point. You know, you're giving them almost a corner kick, except they have an advantage because you can't be offsides on throw-ins. So there's a lot of thinking that goes into soccer that a lot of people don't know. A lot of strategizing, a lot of plays, a lot of you just kind of got to be clever. And I have a lot to learn. This is only my second year as a head coach. But I try to be a student of the game and ask a bunch of people that have been in this position longer. Yeah. Our strategy tomorrow is to kind of shut that down and not give up those long throw-ins, be careful on set pieces, and see if we can kind of, catch them off guard and make them pay on offense.
Excellent. Well, let's recap district so far, because from what I'm seeing, you're one goal away from being undefeated and leading district. That Jacksonville one-score game, that was it. Yes,
that was that was a tough game. That was at the Tomato Bowl. Anybody whoever has played in the Tomato Bowl knows that that's a tough crowd to go into. They have a really good team this year. They also have a a new head coach that's just taken over the program this year. He knows what he's doing. He has a bunch of really talented girls, and we just had a bunch of calls that didn't go our way, and we couldn't finish the ball. So that was a tough battle for us. Lauren Wade is their top offensive player. She scored in every single district game this season. Wow. And we lost track of her one time, and she made us pay. There's a reason that she is as she's scoring against everybody. She's a talented player, so she made us pay. That's the one goal against, and we also gave up a PK to Lufkin. Yeah. But other than that, our defense has been pretty solid this year.
Yeah, it's been real solid, and so is the offense. I mean, you're 4-0 against Marshall, 3-0 against Nacogdoches, 4-0 against Tyler. Pull out some of the girls and some of the things they're doing to make this happen.
We have sophomore Ella Fishback, who by watching her play and lead this team, you would not believe that she is a sophomore. She plays attacking center mid. She has 6 goals for the season so far in district play, 2 or 3 assists. She is not your typical sophomore. She goes out on that field and outworks everyone. Right behind her, you have Michael Lindsay, who is very talented. She surprises you by the balls that she can get to. She's tough in the air, and she can also be an offensive threat if needed. Right behind her is Audrey Hall. She's a senior, and she is the leader of our back line. She is incredibly balanced in what she does. She just provides a sense of communication and stability for these girls that just an overall leader back there and leads our defense. Right back, you have Riley Hale, who will she works really hard. She is our fastest player, and she will make you pay on that outside if you give her the room to do so. Up top, we have, let's see, it changes. We have Shaylee Morales, who is a senior. She was a utility player of the year for our district last year. Any ball that you think no one will get to, she will get to. She wins 50-50 balls. She bodies people up. She's a tiny girl out there, but she makes a huge difference in what she does. Sophomore Hattie Schneider has come off the bench and has earned her spot this year and is just I think she has 3 assists for the season. She is doing really well on the outside. Our senior goalkeeper is Victoria Fishback, and she is doing outstanding work back there. She is always positive, a great communicator. She actually made some incredible saves in our game against Jacksonville. And we're for sure going to miss her next year.
Definitely. And you already talked about the Hallsville game that's coming up Tuesday evening. But you also have Texas High before we talk again. So
yes,
I guess go over the challenges there with the Hallsville and the Texas High this week.
So Hallsville, as I said before, they're pretty much rivals. We both play pretty physical. He's got a lot of talented players this year, and they are looking for revenge, I'm sure, because we have not beat them in a long time, and we ended up beating them twice last year. So they are going to be ready for us, and I think they're at full strength right now. We're kind of suffering through some injuries and taping some pieces together, and but our girls are ready and focused for this game. So if we go in and play like we have been playing, then it should be a really exciting game. Friday night is Texas High. They are looking really good as well this year. They play a lot like us, just no quit, really scrappy. We had a battle with them last year that led into double overtime, and then I believe we went to PKs. It was a really exciting game. Their coach is a great lady who knows what she's doing and is running a solid program there. So thankfully, we do not have to travel all the way to Texarkana this week because it's a home game. But they're two. Actually, we'll have 3 battles back to back, but these 2 we're going to take care of this week, hopefully.
Right on, right on. And finally, you mentioned that's a home game Friday.
Yes.
Talk about the fans. How well do they show up for games?
You know, soccer season and high school soccer season in Texas is miserable because it's stuck in the worst weather season. I, side note, did not play high school soccer. Art did not offer soccer, so I only played club and college soccer. So It was a shock to me when I coached in this season, like why anybody would put themselves through this, because it is miserable weather. We have the best fans at Whitehouse. They are supportive of their girls. They come out. They cheer. One of our dads is our announcer, and he really gets the crowd involved and involves our fans. We try to do anything and everything we can to bring people out. We have a great group of guys that from the football team that come out, and they're a pretty hyped cheer squad. We have the drum line come out when I can get them out. So we have a pretty supportive community here.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Well, again, congratulations so far on what is a great start to district play. Best of luck this week. Hopefully we're talking 6-1 in district when we talk next week.
I hope so.
Hey, I want to thank you for listening to the Whitehouse Wildcats Girls Soccer Show. Please go out and support these girls, support this program, share this show, and tell the world about Whitehouse Wildcats Soccer. Hey coaches, did you know we're now offering shows for all sports? That's right, whether it's basketball, volleyball, softball, baseball, football, soccer, you name it, we've got you covered. If you're looking for a way to showcase your program, promote your players, and highlight the amazing things happening with your team, our coaches shows are the perfect solution. Plus, our business model lets you or your booster club raise money while building excitement and support for your program. Don't miss the opportunity to take your team's story to the next level. Find out how you can get your very own coaches show. Reach out to Chris at 713-269-4620 today. That's 713-269-4620 because every team deserves the spotlight.